The old me would really, I don't care about none of that. I'm hitting below the belt. Like, nigga, I'm aiming for your ankles. I don't give a fuck if your feelings are hurt or not. But,
Cause I ain't leaving alone. Feel like I could be honest, babe. We both know that we're grown. That's why I wanna know. How many drinks would it take you to be with me? Yeah, you look good and I got money, but I don't wanna waste my time.
hi. Welcome to my bubble, where we do a little bit of adulting, a little bit of healing, and a little bit of creating. I just want to acknowledge a few things really quick. First of all, I was gonna say like kind of sort of successfully, but like I successfully did these crimps. Like, shout out to me, okay? For my first time, like actually doing them, I'd give it a strong 7 out of 10, 7.5, 7 out of 10. I think they're cute. I like them, and now I know how to do them and make them stay. Now maybe I can actually do it. Also, quick side note number 2, I haven't done anything like creative in a minute, so look what I did today. I spent way more time on it today than I meant to, but like, I don't know, I needed to do it. Aren't they so cute? Obviously I have to erase the grid, but I don't ever normally finish things, and for the most part I finished the outline of it. Yay. But anyway, let's get into the point of this video. So we are healing today. Really just, and by that I mean I want to acknowledge the progress I've made, acknowledge how far I've come, not only in life but really in my spiritual journey. Like, in general, I have a hard time acknowledging my wins and acknowledging the good things that I do, because my mind is always on to the next thing, checking off how do I check off the next goal on my list, like all of those kinds of things. And that's easy to do in the context of like tangible things, but for your spiritual journey and like opening your chakras and all those kinds of things, it's a little bit harder to do. But as I have been reading, last month I read Think Like a Monk, and that kind of put it, not that I didn't know before that, but like that really kind of put it in perspective for me, just how far into my spiritual journey I've come, and I love that. I mean, I have been able to tell because like of the new models that I have, which we'll get into in a second. Like, I'm on my third motto, if you will. So like I know I've mastered one thing, what's the next step? Mastered the next thing, what's the next step? Like that's how I know I'm making progress in my spiritual journey, along with confirmation from the Most High. Period. But that, and I've noticed the effect that I have on other people, of those around me, in the sense of the model that I started with, other people have now adapted. And it's really like, I'm not trying to teach them these things, but like they're picking up on it, if that makes sense. But yeah, whatever. So this not whatever, but it's because I just look at them as habits. So it's like, it's in the context of the people around me, it's like, okay, they're picking up on my habits. Like, good, they're good habits to have. So like, it's cool, But we're gonna really sit here and take a moment to acknowledge my growth. But by my way of acknowledging my growth is sharing the lessons that I have learned thus far on my spiritual journey. So let's get right into it. I have 3 basically 3 lessons, and I'm presently working on the 3rd. But so, not when I started my spiritual journey, but like the first lesson I learned after making the conscious decision to commit to my spiritual journey and consciously putting in the effort to continue to progress in my spiritual journey, the first thing I would always say to myself, the one thing you would always hear me say is, everything happens for you, not to you. Now that is so that it really goes in tandem with like, there's no such thing as coincidences, and like everything happens for a reason. But I didn't want to say to myself everything happens for a reason, just because it was kind of it just like, not that it was cliche, but I know myself, and when quote unquote bad things would happen to me, I knew that I wouldn't want to hear everything happens for a reason. Like that was only going to make me more upset, / that was only going to frustrate me further. So I kind of flipped it and would be like, okay, everything happens for you, not to you. Everything happens for you, not to you. So whether it be like I'm expecting to get promoted and it doesn't happen, or college graduation was snatched from me, it's like everything happens for you, not to you. Like there's a reason it's happening. It's like, because when bad things happen, quote unquote bad things happen to you, your first thing is like, why would you do that to me? Why would you do that? Why? Or when people treat you badly and people do things to you, it's like, why would you do that to me? Why would you? That's always the main thing. Why would you do that to me? But like, you got to step outside of yourself and not take it personal. As far as the 3D and the people, things, energy you interact with, you really have to step outside of yourself and not take that personal. But before you get there, it's like acknowledging that the Most High would not put you through something if there wasn't a reason for it, right? Everything happens for a reason. There's some sort of lesson in it for you, and that's real easy to say, but a lot harder to find in the moment when it's happening, on top of you fighting your emotional reactions to it, on top of like you try to rationalize, say somebody spitting on your face. Like, no, I can't even use that because I would fail that test. Like, don't spit in my face because we will get to scrapping, please. But like, so you really have to, anytime somebody frustrates you or something happens that you do not want to happen, in the name of keeping faith that there's a bigger picture and that bigger things are at play, you just really have to sit and say, I would literally sit and say to myself, everything happens for you, not to you. Everything happens for you, not to you. And I would literally, out loud, verbatim, I would say, everything happens for you, not to you. Everything happens for you, not to you. Now, that took some time, and I really had to put that into practice. Like the reason I no longer talk to my father was a lot of like, the old me would have, like, my mouth is ridiculous, okay? I'm very disrespectful if I feel like you're attacking me, and I'm very disrespectful if I feel like you're coming out of your neck talking to me crazy. Like, the old me would really, I don't care about none of that. I'm hitting below the belt, like, nigga, I'm aiming for your ankles. I don't give a fuck if your feelings are hurt or not. But I was like, no, don't do that, because that karma is going to come back to you. It's not the same karma as, like, murdering somebody or, like, fucking on somebody's boyfriend, but, like, it's still, that energetic karma is going to come back to you. So I would literally have to take a second. Everything happens for you, not to you. Everything happens for you, not to you. Every time I was frustrated, and I say that, and then, like, it would, not even calm me down, it would just bring me back. And I'm like, okay. And then I would calmly respond. Okay? And in hand with that same situation for why we no longer talk, I had to give up my first car that I ever owned. Monroe was forever my baby. But I had to take that L. And I just, as much as that hurt and as much as it was like unfair to me, I was like, it's okay. Everything happens for you, not to you. Everything happens for you, not to you. And mind you, getting Monroe was so hard and was such a process that I didn't want to let go of Monroe in general, but the reasoning and the scenario in which I had to let Monroe go was even worse. And I was like, I can't fucking win. But it's like, everything happens for you, not to you. You learn to not take things personal, and you just learn to roll with the punches, basically. But I understand. It's a lot harder to put that in practice rather than to just say everything happens for a reason. It's basically like self-affirming to yourself of like, everything happens for you, not to you. Everything happens for you, not to you. Say it as many times as you gotta say it. It works, I promise. That's the first step. That teaches you to step outside of yourself and not take things personal. Right? So after I got used to not taking things personal, and I would not automatically emotionally react physically or verbally, then the next step, lesson 2, was lesson 2, motto 2. Same thing, really. But, like, the lesson was in my self-awareness. I learned what triggers me, what doesn't trigger me, what I like, what I don't like. I became aware of my bad habits that I feed into, just all of that. And not only becoming aware of it, but acknowledging them. That's an important part of it as well. So then my second motto, or the second like phrase that I would always find myself saying, is self-awareness is key. And if you ask anybody around me, I will be saying that not only to myself, but to them. Because one, as I would learn more about myself and I know how to pinpoint what triggers me and pinpoint like, that's a bad habit, like you're acting up right now. It also became easier for me to point it out in other people. Not in the sense of like I was attacking them, but I simply just like, self-awareness is key. Just saying. And then with, I guess, another part of that lesson of self-awareness is key, really came with the lesson like, your reality is a reflection of you. Whatever you are experiencing externally, whether you constantly falling out with friends, whether you're constantly losing money, like whatever it is, it's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of your actions, your decisions, the energy that you put out. Self-awareness is key. Your reality is a reflection of you. And that not that it took a minute, but like, I mean, it kind of did. It took a minute to acknowledge all of it, because there's so much that comes with the human experience and that comes with life. It's like, wow, everything is a reflection of me. Same in the same context of like having to lose Monroe and the fallout with my father was like, your reality is a reflection of you. So I had to sit and acknowledge like, what part did I play in this, and just, and I did that. And now my reality is very, very different. Your reality is a reflection of you, but it's okay. Self-awareness is key. It's whatever you got to say. Like, it's okay to like do something petty as long as you acknowledge that you are being petty. Self-awareness is key. And I use that very loosely because, people be real petty. It's like, okay, well, she fucked on my man, so I'm going to fuck on her man. Like, that's not what I'm saying to do. But hopefully you get my point. And then third lesson, and the phase that I am currently mostly working through, is trusting the process and knowing that the Most High and the divine would not tease me. The Most High will not put something in my heart and give me a vision of what I want my life to be just to not give me that, you know? The universe wouldn't tease me like that. So I have to trust the process. And not be impatient, you know? And then the motto, the phrase is divine timing. Everything in divine timing. AKA, bitch, be patient, you know? Trust the process. Things are unfolding how they are unfolding. Trust the process. Everything happens in divine timing. There's no such thing as coincidences. Trust the process. Now that each step is really a lot easier said than done, but like this one for me is just not just as hard, but like the I can't say just as hard, but like second to everything happens for you, not to you. This is really testing me, and because I've never been a patient person, and I have progressively become more patient as I've gone through the steps of my spiritual journey. But like for that, and now here, for that reason, my mind wants to be like, but I've been so patient. Like I have so much patience, so much more patience than I've ever had in my entire life. What do you mean I still have to be patient? Like how much more patient can I be? But I don't see the whole picture. I don't have to know the how things are going to come together. That's not my job, and that's not my part in the process. My part is to trust the process. My part is to put out what I want, do the work towards the things that I want, and trust that it's going to come to me. Trust the process. Trust that it will unfold in the way that it needs to. Be patient. That's what I'm working on right now, and it's a process, because I'm like specifically me, I'm still working on healing my money mindset, and like letting go of the constant need to be in struggle, like the not constant need to be in struggle, but like my struggle is comforting to me because it's all I've ever known. So it's like, let go of struggle. You will not always be in struggle. You will not always be in need. Like, trust the process. It's okay. Everything, it's going to happen the way it needs to happen. I really am feeling these crimps. Like, I'm here for it. Anyway, so I also realized I forgot this small little part. Hi, future Naori here. I forgot this small little part. So, not even in the context of let nature be your guide, not even halfway through the first lesson, I kept hearing let nature be your guide, let nature be your guide. And then, you know, in that context, when I would hear it, I would also hear like the people would also say, you know, just like the trees in fall and winter, they release their leaves and they pull into themselves and only nurture the parts of themselves that they can nurture. Animals will go into hibernation. It's a time to rejuvenate and not rebuild, but like just to take a second and like, you know, be in your energy so that you can enjoy the greenery and the fruit that is to come in the spring and the summer, right? So that's how I let nature be my guide then, right? Like, it's okay, you don't have to be on go all 12 months of the year. Like, in fall and into winter, be like the trees. Release your leaves, release what is no longer serving you, and just nurture the parts of you that need to be nurtured. Cool. Then as I'm going along, I don't remember if it was still in the first step or in the second step, but like then I would continue to hear like plant the seed now for what you want later, like plant the seed for this, plant the seed for that. And like part of it became like part of the work that I did to get my place, you know. But I literally wrote out on a note, this note, I'm going to insert the picture. I literally wrote on a post-it note, like, let nature, it says, look to nature for your inspiration. I kept hearing plant the seed, plant the seed, plant the seed. So I wrote basically the steps that a seed goes through on the note, right? But because at this time I'm thinking, or I'm hearing also like how a caterpillar will go into a butterfly. And one of the other people that I watched, it was like the same way a caterpillar will go into their cocoon and go into their bubble and like literally break all the way down into goo to then become a butterfly to then break out. And then also in the context of let nature be your guide, it was like a butterfly has to break out of a cocoon itself. Like some other bug or insect can't come along and break the butterfly out. Like for the strength to fly, a butterfly must break its own cocoon. Fun fact, and also like, you know? So then when I'm hearing this and I keep hearing plant the seed, plant the seed, plant the seed, let nature, look to nature for your inspiration. As a seed, I'm like, all right, being a seed is chaotic. Like you can, if the wind blows, seed goes that way. Wind blows the other way, seed goes that way. Like being a seed is chaotic. Then I'm like, okay, sprout. Then at the time, I couldn't think of what sprout would represent, right? Then I'm like, okay, then it grows, reach towards the sun, you know? Bloom, enjoy the fruit, right? But I never put the pressure on for like whatever sprout is, right? I just instead looked to the like, think caterpillar, goo, butterfly. That's when I went into my whole like, I'm in my cocoon phase and blah, 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 blah. I think that was in my It's 2022 video. Go watch that if you haven't seen that. So, but now, so now in this third step, I know what that means. And I know that the missing piece, what should go next to sprout is growth in the darkness. It's growth in the darkness, because when you plant a seed in the dirt, now it's stable, it's in the dirt, it's not as chaotic, right? It's in the dirt, it's in one spot. But before you see the stem of whatever's growing, the flower, the fruit, the carrot, whatever, before you see the stem, the seed breaks open in the dirt, in the darkness, in the whatever. So it's growth in the darkness. And in terms of my spiritual journey, healing, all healing is walking through your darkness and making the choice to walk through it anyway, to know that there is light on the other side. That's a lot easier said than done, and that is so uncomfortable. You're very uncomfortable when you're going through that. Growth in the darkness, aka discomfort. But then as you grow more, the stem is reaching towards the sun. You're reaching towards all your abundance and your possibilities and your everything else. And then come later, you bloom and you enjoy your fruit. So yeah, let nature be your inspiration. That was the part I forgot. Okay. But yeah, those are the 3 lessons I have learned thus far. And it's like, it's actually crazy because, like, for me, I just chalk it up to the 3 quotes, like, everything happens for you, not to you. Self-awareness is key. And divine timing. Everything in divine timing. Like, it's in theory, it sounds so easy. But, like, I promise you, just put it in action. Just start with, anytime you're frustrated and anytime you want to go off about anything, everything happens for you, not to you. You go outside one day and you're already late and you're rushing to meet your friends wherever. Bam, now you got a flat tire. Or you're a quarter of the way there and you're rushing and all of a sudden now you ain't got no gas, even though you know you just had a half a tank. Like, it's okay. Or scratch that, say you're already late to go link with your friends somewhere and 4 Ubers cancel on you. You know, everything happens for you, not to you. Maybe there was some sort of accident that you would have been part of if you had left when you wanted to leave. Or maybe you would have gotten stuck in traffic had you gone the route that you wanted to go. But you didn't go that way because you had to go the opposite way to go get gas. Like, everything happens for you, not to you. I'm telling you, put it in practice. Start there. Put it in practice. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna take a while. It took me months to believe that when I said it. It really did. It took me months to, like, believe that when I'm saying it to myself. But for the first couple months, I really had to, like, fake it till I make it. I had to, yeah. I'm telling you, start there. And then if you're past that and you're in the, like, self-awareness is key part, another thing with that is acknowledging for me at least it was, because I had shoved all my emotions down into this one bubble due to my past traumas. So I had to not only learn what triggers me and, like, my bad habits and things, but I had to allow myself the space for my emotions to be. Like, I had to just let my emotions be, not just shut them down and push them to the side. Like, acknowledge them, know why I feel this way, and then just allow the emotion to be. I'm still perfecting that, but I've got that, like, 95% of the way down. Now, patience. Patience, I'm working on it, because I really feel like I have been so patient. But it's like, it's okay, because I'm going to continue to be patient, and I'm going to grow even more patience. And then it's going to be like, now you see why you had to be so patient. Yeah. But I'm not there yet. But when I'm on the other side of it, I'm going to know why. I'm going to know why the Most High made me wait. So I trust the process. I have faith that the Most High would not tease me, because the Most High is not cruel like that. So, yeah, those are the lessons that I've learned thus far in my spiritual journey. It's actually been kind of crazy. And the fact that I've literally taught myself all of this is even more like, I did that. It's healing yourself is a crazy process. I can't wait to have the means to actually go to therapy, because, like, but yeah, I've come quite far, and I'm quite proud of myself. I promise you. Start with, just use those 3 quotes. Everything happens for you, not to you. Self-awareness is key. And divine timing. Everything in divine timing. But do one thing at a time. Don't, like, do each one on top of each other. One at a time. For months, I was saying to myself, everything happens for you, not to you. Then when I stopped taking things personal, for months, I was saying self-awareness is key. Self-awareness is key. And now, divine timing. Everything in divine timing. Yeah. So those are my spiritual journey lessons. If you made it to the end of the video and you don't know me, hi. My name is Naori. Stick around, you love it here. Duh. Embrace being a star. Subscribe. Follow my socials. I'm back to posting. Sorry, I put Finding Nemo on, but I forgot I muted it. I'm back to posting twice a week. If you missed, quote unquote, No Excuses November, no worries. Go back and watch all of that. The last piece of the financial literacy series, I believe, is coming out this month. And that's the context being how to build a stock portfolio. But all the other videos and all the other pieces lead up to that. So if you haven't seen that, go watch that. Go watch all the other content from No Excuses November. Go watch all the other content on my channel, period. There's going to be at least 2 or 3 videos that you're interested in. So go do that. I will see you in my next video. Bye.
I'd rather be smoking